This is David Looking with GrassFlap. Just got finished installing the GrassFlap on a Gravely Z Stance 32. Just got the standard GrassFlap, got a metal blocker plate on this guy. We installed it using a no drill mount, bolts into existing holes on a Z stance. Nice thing about this mount is it also incorporates a hole and a catch for a drop-on bagger. So you'll be able to use a drop-on bagger like Accelerator or one of the other ones like that. Okay, so that's what it looks like here. Deflector angle mounted here, steel blocker plate. As we mentioned, spring mount fits under the belt cover here. Runs across, and let me show you how that routes. So remove this guy. So the cable itself, so we're going to zip tie it here to this fixed bracket, and then it runs a loop over here. I don't know if you can see it up in here, but it runs across. So you want to go under this bar here and over this bar here. You can see it up in there, comes back across here, and then we're going to drop down through this hole to get to the back here. So we're running under there. Come to the back, and we're going to run the cable up through here. We got a little zip tie that holds it on here. We did a little cable clamp right here, and then bolted the pedal on back here in the middle of the foot pan. A couple of bolts in here, so it allows you to get up on the mower itself. Let's see if we can get here where you can see it. I don't know if we'll be able to or not. Yeah, here we go. So you stand on the mower, and you're just going to reach back with your foot and operate it. See if this is a little better. Maybe, maybe not. So you kind of see the flat, you kind of see my foot. Standard operation, push and release motion, what drives everything. Let's go over here and look at cable routing then. So if we remove this guard, we can see that this cable comes off the spring mount, comes right over here and ties onto this fixed bar, which works out great. Up underneath here then, it lays on top of this deck lift assist bar and under this corner up here, coming out that side. It comes up along here, up to this particular install. We put a hand lever on here. So I think we've all seen the hand lever operate, but if I get up on the mower here, well, I'll show it to you. Okay, so we got the hand lever here. See if we can see the GrassFlap pop up out here in the front. Let me get a little higher. So on this particular model with the hand lever, we've got a partial open position that lets the flap stand out here in a partial open position. Maybe times that you need that. And then if you don't need it in that partial open position, then what you're going to do is simply drop it back down. And operationally, it's the same kind of a motion. It's a pull and release. Okay, so just a good smooth pull and release, pull and release. First step is to remove the factory discharge chute. We've got 2 bolts here to remove. Next step is to install the no drill mount for the GrassFlap. On a Z stance, you've got 3 bolts to install. On the Pro stance, not shown here, you'll have 2 bolts to install. Now we're going to go ahead and install the bolt for the spring mount. We'll have to remove the nut off the carriage bolt on the flap itself, position the spring mount, and go ahead and snug the spring bolt in place. Then we're going to go ahead and remove the belt cover This is a little bit difficult to remove. You can stand on it and just muscle it off there, or also you might be able to use a screwdriver to lift it on either end. With the belt guard removed, then we're going to go ahead and install the GrassFlap. This sits on top of the no drill mount. There's some 3/8 bolts provided that you will then install to secure the GrassFlap to the no drill mount. Now we're going to go ahead and connect the spring. This is a little tricky to do. Use a pair of channel locks works best, and grab just the tip of the open end of the spring there. Once you do that, then you're able to pull the spring and hook it to the spring bolt. Now we're going to go ahead and connect the cable to the spring mount itself. So we're going to pull the rubber boot, remove jam nut number 1, position the cable into the holder, and then go ahead and snug everything up. Now we're going to go ahead and install the hand levers. So the first thing we have to do is remove the bolts where the hand lever is going to be installed. With the bolts removed, the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and install the hand lever. These use 2 5/16 bolts. Go ahead and position the hand lever onto the upright, and then reinstall the nuts, securing it in place. Now we're going to go ahead and install the cable to the hand lever. The first thing we're going to do is pull the rubber boot, spin the first jam nut off, then go ahead and run that first jam nut back on. This is just enough to hold the cable in place while we go ahead and connect the removable clevis. We'll slip this clevis on, insert the 1/4 inch clevis pin, and then install the cotter pin. When you install the cotter pin, you want to make sure that you split the cotter pin, fold one leg each direction so that it doesn't rattle its way out. Now we're going to go ahead and set the position of the jam nuts. And usually where I like to start is with these jam nuts all the way onto this fitting. You can adjust the position of these fittings to change the position of the partial open on the hand lever. So we're going to start with it in the fully on position. We're going to just snug these up, not super tight. The next step is to connect the cable to the flap end. So step 1 is going to be to install the brass bushing into the hole. Once you have that in place, you're going to go ahead and slip the clevis onto the brass bushing, install your clevis pin and your cotter pin. Please note, in this video I put the pin in the wrong direction. The head of the pin needs to be on the spring side, and then the cotter pin on the other side. Last step then is to snug up the bolt. Then we're going to put the belt cover back in place and adjust the position of the spring mount so that the spring clears that belt cover. You can adjust the position of this spring mount by loosening the bolt that holds the spring mount position, then adjust that spring mount up to where it just clears or just contacts the belt guard,
in the up position. Next step is to install the deflector angle. The purpose of this deflector angle is to keep clippings from blowing up onto your mower or you as the operator when the flap is partially open. So the first thing we're going to do is a dry fit, make sure there's no interference. Then go ahead and remove the clear or the red backer tape, slide the angle back in place. Word of caution, it's very sticky, so you have to be careful here not to get it against the blocker plate too soon. Once you have it in place, go ahead and squeeze it onto the backside of the block off plate, and then do a couple of operations, open and close it, just to make sure there's no interference, everything operates smoothly.